right? Oh, okay, I have my phone. I was about to say. Alright, we are on the website. Do, 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 do. Oh my goodness. No. Alright, gentle giants. Let's pop over to the. No, no. Ooh, that's clearly not safe for work.
I mean,
The Candace pick. Alright, if people join us, they join us later. But so far, we have Candace
right.
Stasis, so we'll just rock it like this for this review. I want to double check, make sure you guys can be heard on the live. Oh my god, so loud.
Jesus.
What happened?
Nah, I just heard that through the mic.
Did you? Yeah, my bad. This audio is so bad. So where do we want to start? Do we want to start with like our rating of the episode, or we want to save that for last?
We should probably save that for last, I guess.
Okay. So what you want to start with? Animation.
I mean,
Okay, I can hear Stasis
maybe it's
clearly.
because,
Hold on one sec,
Candace
Stasis.
hasn't been talking.
Yeah, no, Candace, can you say something? Just make sure I can pick you up on the.
Yep. How you doing?
All right, we can hear
Alright,
you. All
cool.
right, cool.
All good.
Okay, so I guess we'll start with what? We'll start with animation, as like we did last time. So what do we think of the animation this episode, comparatively, I guess, to the first
Uh,
episode? That's the only thing we can really base it off of.
Maybe it's just me, because, like, the illusion of, like, oh my god, the Bleach anime is finally back. It's starting to wear off, but, like, it was a bit like, oh no, that's why. Because, like, it was weird for me, because I was watching it, like, via my phone's data. So it was lagging, like, every 5 seconds, but the subtitles weren't.
Mm-hmm.
So I'd have to rewatch it, but I'm probably going to do that regardless.
Candace.
It was the animation was very good. It was top notch throughout. The only time when I stopped, I thought there might have been bad animation was when Nell was coming down crying, but that could just be because of the stupid face Nell was making in the first place.
Mm-hmm. It's interesting. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Keep going.
I was just gonna say I was surprised, like, for both of you to be like, I guess almost casual about it, because I guess I'm on the opposite end of that, as in, like, I actually thought like it held up to the first episode as far as animation goes. There wasn't as much
Yeah,
flashy stuff as episode one, but like what episode one did, it didn't feel like episode two really fell off in that regard.
I like
Uh,
to, like,
go
again,
on,
it was
Stasis.
it was like really laggy for me. So
Hmm.
I was watching that on the bus to school, dog. So
What were you saying,
uh,
Candace?
It's interesting that it'll be keeping up with the first episode because that one had the Yamamoto
Yeah,
throwing it and Sasuke getting hit.
yeah. I've been abusing, in my last few videos. I've been abusing that Yamamoto flame scene. Oh god,
Oh really?
it's so beautiful. I think I've used it in the last like 5 videos. I think I've used it in 3 of them.
damn.
Already?
Yeah, I love it. It's so beautiful. But
I'll probably turn into your intro for every video.
I'm telling you, I should. I should probably put intros back in my videos. Um, yeah, like I said, I thought the animation was just as good as it was in episode one. Like I said, there's not as much flash as episode one, but I think when it did still needed to be, what it did what it was supposed to do. Like a perfect example is so I guess we could also talk about later, but like some of the changes that were made, because there are a lot of changes in this episode. I
There is
could
a lot.
Yes, I went back and read the 4 chapters this episode is based on, which I probably shouldn't done because it brought my rating of this episode down. But that's actually a good thing, because I'm being honest. But I read those 4 chapters, and I didn't you really get to see how much is different. This is truly like an adaptation of the manga. It's not a direct one-to-one.
Yeah,
Um,
definitely.
yeah.
Yeah.
But the reason I was saying that like the reason I thought the animation held up was like that scene. That's one that's different. Is instead of Apache just sneezing, she sneezes a Sero. She sneezes a Sero, and
Which automatically like makes it like 10 times more powerful.
yeah, it's funny because I'm like, I wanted to hate it at first because I'm like, I'm fairly confident in the manga she didn't do that. So when I looked, I'm like, she doesn't. But like, I wanted to hate it, but I just can't because it was so well animated.
Bro, imagine like you're this soldier, you're going off to fight in this big blood war. You're assigned to this Waco Mundo Hun army. You're like, you're chicken kicking back. Fuck, I cannot speak. And then like, you're telling your mom, I'm gonna fight in this big righteous war. I'm gonna come back. I'm gonna be a hero. Then you die from a sneeze, Saro.
On top of that, it's not even straight. It's like all wavy around the place.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought maybe it was a new ability at first because like I had to rewind that spot because I thought she just used like a Sarah whip or something, but then I realized like that's supposed to be the sneeze scene, and I was like, that's really, oh my god,
I didn't actually even pick up onto it until you guys actually just said it just now.
really.
You're welcome.
The the other thing was about the animation. I thought, like I said, it's not as big as episode 1, but like where it is, one of my favorite animated spots was actually Apache's throwing her bracers and Quillgat catching it. I know we saw it in the second trailer or the first full trailer where we actually see him
Hmm.
catching it, but the scene was better than it was in the trailer. And on top of that, I'll go as far as this: the scene is better in the anime than it is in the manga. Like I really do like the brutality of this is really coming through. The fact that
Hmm.
Apache is like blowing people's heads off with a rotating like basically a death frisbee, and
Yeah.
it was just animated so well.
I'm pretty sure it
Also,
was like still spinning in his hand as well.
yeah, it was the Quincy abilities, the Halic file look as good as it's looked so far. Like when his Quincy cross lights up and he drops those 2 knives into Manoli's shoulder, I thought that was like it's so quick and so clean, but they actually like put their effort in the animation for a scene that lasts like
Hmm.
0.5 seconds.
Yeah.
So we knew the animation for this was going to be great, and it's still holding up, and I appreciate that about this episode.
Hmm.
Since we both, I guess we all kind of said we feel about the animation. I guess the next would be the art style. I know some people are
I
still pretty.
really.
I know some people are still pretty
uh,
peeved about it not directly mimicking Kubo's style, kind of like how the original anime did. And in certain scenes, I really feel that, like when the Tres Bestia shows up, the art Kubo put in the manga hits so much harder than the scene in the anime. But overall, it still doesn't bother me too much. What do you
It
think?
definitely doesn't bother me as well. I never actually had a problem with the change of design.
mm, yeah. Um, something I really. I'm still. I don't know how I feel about it, but we're only gonna see it like twice. Is how they changed up the Garganta.
You don't like it?
I didn't say I didn't like it. I just feel
Oh,
like it's a change that I'm still getting used to.
okay. Do you think that
Like if I see it some more, it's gonna grow on me.
okay? Um, do you? I guess because we've also seen like the shadows as well again. Like, do you think that it's necessary? Do you think
Oh,
like
the
do you think
shadows look clean as hell.
yeah? Do you think it's okay to do this though? Like, Kubo is overseeing the series, so like
Hmm.
Kubo clearly isn't too upset about the changes that have been made, or else we probably would have heard about it. Um, but do you think that this change in art affects the series a lot?
Nah, not really. Like, especially if Kubo's overseeing it. Like, it's like he is approving all this, so it might as well be, Kubo-esque style.
Hmm.
And
Oh yeah, sorry, I was hmm.
something I want to point out, Urahara, when they're running the Wakamundo, Urahara's in front, and the bridge is just beautiful.
Oh yeah, it's so clean.
Now,
I,
if Ichigo was running over there, oh no.
mhm. I'll say this: Taguchi right now is like last episode. Last episode Taguchi was, how do I put it? He did great, but and we'll get into it
Yeah.
a little bit later. But right now he's kind of on my shit list. Um, there are certain directorial decisions that I don't agree with in this episode, and one of them is his. I know he likes his contrary lighting with all the different colors. This is one of the episodes where I feel like maybe he should have toned it down a bit. And it's not a lot, but that scene with the yellow bridge, I don't understand how the entire side of Kisuke's face is golden yellow when the light from it should be coming upward, not smack toward him. That's probably like
Yeah.
my only complaint about that as far as art choice goes, because like it actually like took me out of the moment where he's running, he looks back, and the entire left side of his body is covered in yellow light, and I'm like, that's weird.
Wakamundo looks beautiful.
Yes, it does. I that's another thing that was also disappointing. They did not have the shot from the manga of Wakamundo, like Las Noches on fire. The
Uh,
fact that that was taken out, like this is what I'm saying. Like Taguchi made some choices this episode as far as taking certain things out that I really didn't like, and that's one of them.
I
The
needed Byakuya to hype up Chojuro.
Yeah, that being taken out was bad too. Since we're talking about, I guess we'll just move on to like, let's just move on to negatives real quick because like I want to get them out of the way because like it really did hurt a lot of things for the episode to me. Like I think the episode's still good, like really good, but
Hmm.
it does not have the same score episode one does.
Yeah.
Um,
I
and,
will say,
uh-huh.
I did think the pacing was a bit better this episode.
Yes, yes, it was. It's not. I still don't think it's perfect, and it's hard to get perfect pacing. I would still say
Hmm.
it's not good, but it's better than last episode
Yeah.
because I don't like what Taguchi's doing of like slow through most of the episode, and then he almost stuffs the last two chapters into like the last 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not like that personally. I'm not with that. What do you think, Candace?
It'll be. I never actually had much problem with the pacing. But
You never had
it'll
much
be
patience.
interesting to see how much they have to keep taking out things just to keep up the pace. Because
Yeah,
like they might be taking a while.
and I get he has to work within the limits of episodes that he's given, but I just feel like certain things should not have been taken out. Um,
Mm.
like for example, like like I kept saying, me and Zaya were going back and forth about it in the chat. I'm not okay with them taking out some of the jokes now. Like like last week, the complaint made no sense to me because I'm like they took out one joke, but like this episode, they took out quite a bit. Like quite a bit was taken out of these chapters, and what they were like I like the Hardy Bell scene. We all talked about how we wanted a scene with Hardy Bell losing,
Oh yeah.
but we didn't get a full scene. So if we didn't get a full scene, I'm okay with not having it. Like if I have to lose this Hardy Bell scene, despite how beautifully it was animated with the shadow just like swallowing up the entire Vandenreich army, Yuha, uh, whatever building they were fighting at, and like Hardy Bell as well. Like that seems cool, but I would be okay with losing that scene for um the Chojuro speech from Byakuya or
Mm.
the scene where Nell is like irritatingly patting Ichigo on the back of the head, talking about the Tres BCS are unbeatable. They're gonna destroy the Vandenreich army. Ichigo, you might as well not even go. You're just gonna be in the way. And it's a really funny scene because it's hyping up the Tres BCS, and the moment Ichigo gets over the hill, boom, they're down.
Hmm.
Like he took that out, and like it seems small, but for me that was big.
Ooh, someone in chat asked, I'm wondering who you got on this Kilgay versus Haribel.
Quilgay versus Haribo.
Hmm.
Um, I, that's a hard one because like we talk. Raids recently kind of made Quilgay look a bit better to me. However, if Ion can, so like the first punch Ion lands on Quilgay. Oh wait, I don't. I'm sorry.
Hmm.
I don't want to talk about future episodes. I'll put it like
I mean,
this.
if it says spoilers in the title, so
Yeah, I just I didn't want to spoil what's gonna happen like later in the episode. But if I had to like I guess say personally, I would have Hardy Bell over Quilgay.
same.
Personally.
Mainly because of who kills Quilgay.
Candace, would you have Hardy Bell over Quilgay, or do you have Quilgay over Hardy Bell?
I haven't scaled either of them, but
Hmm.
Quipke can be really highballed from what I've seen.
Yes, you can.
Mm.
I will say this: he has a serious win con against Haribel. It's just a matter of whether or not she can get to him before he uses Scalabray.
Yeah. And Haribel's not stupid. She's probably going to.
Yeah,
Like, she's probably the second most proactive Urankar that's still alive.
I was gonna say we have proof of her in her fight with Toshiro, where like she gets into her moments where she's like, "I'm done with this.
Yeah.
I'm done with this."
Bro, she said she's more serious than, like, Stark is in his fights, which still fair. But,
Hmm.
like, God, I miss Stark.
We all miss Stark. We all miss Stark.
Stark deserved better. I'm starting this campaign, my God. Give me
The
my Stark light novel.
I need it, but
And it's not even like a, light novel, light novel. It's just like him vibing in Las Noches with the rest of the Urankar.
all right. So how many characters are we up to that we said need light novels at this point? We need
Chojuro,
Chojuro.
literally any of the Espada that died, or that didn't get enough screen time in Thousand Year Blood War, so all of them.
I mean, with Badagon, like if we gave Badagon a light novel, it would just be him being
Hmm.
a an asshole for
Yeah, it's
like the
just him being
entire
a king.
book. Yeah,
So I do want to see Prime Baragon for scaling purposes.
for scaling. Yeah, so we can understand how strong Ikomiki Dunway is supposed to actually be.
Hmm.
But yeah, so
And where Baragon would have scaled to Prime Yama and Prime Yuha.
well, Prime Yama. Well, I'm sorry, Yama without a Zanpakuto put his hands on an Ikomiki Dunway that was trying to eat the Soul King. So
Yeah.
yeah.
I just thought it was odd how the power difference is so vast between the King of Wakamundo, the leader of the Soul Society, and the leader of the Quincy's.
Yeah, I really honestly feel like like Badagon should have never been used if he was gonna die in FKT.
I feel like they should have, yeah,
But
or like they should have had, like explicitly said, like something with his age would make him lose or some shit. Like,
hmm yeah. So back to the episode. Things that were anything else you guys remember that was changed that you did or didn't like?
um, let's see.
Because
I
there's
pretty much
also the
said,
Kisuke scene with Uryu and
"Oh,
Ichigo.
I love the Kisuke stuff because he's just vibing the entire time, and it's great."
Okay, so I guess let me put the question to you. Are you okay with like the changing of the dialogue in that scene? Because in the manga, it's just Urahara saying, it's just Ichigo being like, I knew you'd complain if I didn't invite you. And then Kisuke jumps in. In the anime now, they add this entire whole exchange of like, Uryu pauses. Then he's like, Kurosaki, make sure you watch out. And then he gets cut off by Kisuke as if he did it on purpose. So
I mean, Kisuke read the manga before the rest of them. He knows how it's supposed to go.
He probably was outside listening the whole time.
Bro, he probably has like mics in their home.
he said Mike's in his home. Probably. But yeah,
He
so
probably
sorry, go ahead, Candace.
keep going. I was gonna say he probably hacked into Mayuri's surveillance bacterium or whatever it is.
I wouldn't be surprised if he has his own set. The weirdest part, honestly, is the fact that like the novels basically confirm that someone is surveillance watching Kisuke, and I'm just like, there's no way. There's no way.
So I just want to question this. Do you think that Hachi went through with it and trapped Kisuke in the pocket dimension for like as long as Soifun wanted?
I would like to think that that actually happened.
The answer is likely yes, but it'll be a doppelganger.
I was gonna say he
Hmm.
probably left the Gi guy, the portable Gi guy. But yeah, so that was one other change that like I thought was like, so it's good in one way in the sense that like cool, like Kisuke clearly knows something and Uryu's like guilt was shining through and he was going to tell Ichigo. But at the same
Hmm.
time, like the scene also feels unnecessary and dumb because it's like at this point if the audience, I don't even care if you're new to Bleach, like the episode spells out even before Mayuri says anything that these are Quincy.
Yeah, which I wish they would have kept that reveal at least a bit better.
Mhm.
Because like it's such. I wish they would have like tried to hide it at least.
Yeah, it was like the episodes the first if like in the first episode Ichigo says, "Oh my God, that's a Quincy's," and he gets cut off, and I'm
Yeah.
like, what? And then you literally see Quincy's. You see Uryu before this use Quincy powers, and you see how similar they are. So it felt weird for him to even like try to tell Ichigo like Ichigo's like not a genius, but he's not stupid, not by a long shot. So but yeah, so I like the scene's cool and all, but like at the same time, I also feel like it's partly unnecessary.
Yeah.
So things that stood out to you guys in the episode, like probably I guess what are your three favorite things about this episode?
Oof. Seeing the Arankar.
Valid.
Um. Let's see. See, getting a Haribel versus Yuha mock scene, I guess. And my boy, the man, the myth, the legend, Kensei Muguruma getting 3 whole frames to himself.
He had three whole frames to himself. I know he has like the
Yeah, like 3
captain
different
scene.
shots. But like, yeah, I mean, I'm counting that.
Oh, okay. So you're counting the captain. So you got the funeral, the captain's meeting. What was
And at
the
the opening.
in the opening? Okay. Candace, what are your, I guess your three favorite things about the episode?
I'll go Ewoks Storm 4 finisher.
Oh my god, that was amazing.
The fight choreography with the Arankars and the Quincy, and then
Yes.
Quipgay as well.
Oh, yeah,
Like,
that was beautiful.
Yeah.
the most beautiful one is when Sun Sun thought she was gonna body Quipgay, like taking
Yes.
completely off guard, and he just ordered no, basically.
Bro, he was on full ultra instinct. The man was sitting sideways on his chair. Sun Sun was like, "Gotcha, bitch," and he's like, "Oh, sorry, no." That's funny thing is that that was another thing I was gonna bring up about something they changed was that like so that scene's supposed to be Sun Sun just stabbing uh a soldat in the face. Like that's what that scene's supposed to be, and I kind of do like that they actually switched it up and had her attack Quilgay because it makes the scene more active. It's not Quilgay watching
Mhm.
his men get slaughtered, but
Though I do
because
wish they did keep the her stabbing someone through the head.
yeah, that would've been cool.
Because damn, was that beautiful or brutal?
But what else they removed for that scene that's disappointing is that uh, Apache and Leone already destroy. I mean, Mila Rose already destroyed most of the people. So there was no scene like in the manga where one of the soldat is running away, and and Quilgay just blows his back out. Like he full on Dragon Balls him, like he punches him in the chest and blows a hole through his back. Like they took that scene out. I don't know, like
Bruh, I think it's Apache who just casually punches a dude's head off.
yeah,
I think it is. Standing in front of him, and then I think he's standing behind her, and she basically spins her fist upwards.
blow the dude's head off. Yeah, it's very like I said, there's a lot of give and take, and like that's what I'm saying. Like Taguchi, like certain times I feel like he made really good decisions on what he took out and what he added, and other times I don't think he did. But we're talking about what we liked. So the three things I liked was like what Candace said. I love the fight choreography for between the Quincy's and the Ironccar. It's so good.
Mm,
Um,
yeah.
I I love the added shot of all of the captains like sitting in like this like almost like uniform but like not uniform rows watching the pyre. That was such a good scene. Even though it lasts like a split second. And then I say probably my third thing would be just like the animation. Like even Quilgay like stabbing the random Iran cars is done well. Him talking, the way his hair moves, the like I love the side shot of like where he kind of like tilts to look up at Ichigo and you can kind of see behind his like orange glasses. Like it's really good. It's really good like cinematography.
Mm.
So yeah, I think those are the three things I like. What are the three things you don't like?
Ooh, Chojuro, like they take out Byakuya hyping him up.
Mm-hmm.
Um, probably. I wish we had some more time with the Iran cars
Mm-hmm.
because like this some of the last times we're gonna see all of them.
Yeah, that's definitely true.
And there was a distinct lack of Tosin in this episode on the account of him being dead.
They mentioned Aizen a ton in this episode,
Yeah.
but no one else gets recognition.
100%.
Candace, what were three things you didn't like about the episode? If you even have three things.
I'll go, the sad scene that happened. I thought that was very thick. What happened?
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was thick because of how little you would think that they would know about Chijiro. Like it seemed like a little bit forced. I also didn't like. I usually like when the nail parts as she's coming in, but I'm gonna have to pick it out as like bad animation specifically.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll pick my third one as Harley Ball not actually getting a fight.
Yeah.
This is gonna be the last time we see of her, probably, and nothing's gonna happen for her. There's nothing much happening with Harley Ball now. Like that's it for the rest of the arc.
Yep. I
That'll be like
1000%
my
with
three
you.
things.
So I definitely like. He's back. Okay.
Sorry about that. My Discord decided to take a swan dive out a window.
Well, it climbed back up. We're happy for you.
Nah, I more so dragged it back up, but you know.
Dragged it back up. So yeah, Candace said his three least favorite things was the Nell thing, the fact that like Tier Hollybell didn't get a fight, and you heard the everyone being sad about Chojuro. I got that right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it just seemed a little bit thick, judging by like the amount of like relationship wise. Like I don't even know if Chad even seen him in his entire lifetime.
Yeah. Um, things I didn't like. I the opening. I said this before we even got on. I don't like the opening.
Damn.
Visually, it's great. Um, I I don't like that it like spoils the entire series. Like I said, we talked about it. I can't stand that. I don't feel like the music matches really like what's on screen. Like the visuals for the opening is probably has like it's competing for like the top visuals of any Bleach opening we've ever had. Um, I still think like Rambu no Melody and Change are still like really fantastic. Um, but yeah, so I don't like the opening. Um, I'm so peeved that like I mean we knew that she wasn't getting a fight. That's what we heard. But like actually seeing it confirmed that basically like Nell is telling the story after she gets her ass kicked by Yuha was just like really disappointing.
Yeah.
And I guess finally I'd have to say is just like some of the like I guess the best way to describe this is like the things Taguchi took out that I don't think needed to be taken out. Like this is probably the first time I was saying like last episode IGN said like episode 1 was loses a whole like 2 points because comedy. There was no comedy. They took that Taguchi took it out. And now it's like this episode I think it not having the comedic moments was very obvious. And I don't think they needed to be taken out because none of them ruined the actual like the what do you call it, the atmosphere of the episode. Like having Nell
I
hype
think
up the
the only
trust.
one.
hmm
I think the only one who still jokes around is Kisuke and Pesce.
Yeah, and there's a scene between Pesce and Ichigo that I think is really funny, and it's really weird because I think Pesce is not funny. I don't think Donachaka and Pesce are funny at all. I really don't like their
Mm.
characters. I think they ruined. Like if I was giving like the first part of the middle part of the Arrancar arc a grade from like from everything from when they invade Hueco Mundo to FKT. Like if I was giving that a grade, it's like a 7, high 6
Oof.
maybe, because Don Chaka and Pesce go out of their way to make a joke almost every single chapter they're in, and they end up.
Now, see, I love them when they're
Mhm.
serious. But that's only one scene, and
It's
it's
like
against
yeah,
Dialopero, and it doesn't do shit.
and it doesn't do anything. It's one of the coolest Ceros in the series, and it doesn't do anything. But
There were some bits in the anime with them that I found really funny, like when Pesce pulls out his sword, quote unquote.
yeah. I mean, it's in the manga too, but it's.
I mean, yeah, but they put the experiencing technical difficulties bit in the anime.
Yeah, they did. But just a perfect example, as I said again before we even came live, was I could not stand. I don't understand why they took out the joke with the Tres Bestias. To me, that's actually funny, where she's patting Ichigo on the back of the head, talking about like, "Oh, the Tres Bestias are gonna handle this. You don't even need to show up, Ichigo. I don't know why we called you." Like that's funny because we know there's no
Mhm.
one in the series aside from like Yamamoto and a few captains right at this current time that's stronger than Ichigo. So it's funny. And then the scene with Ichigo and Pesce when they fall out of the Garganta, Ichigo grabs Pesce by the face, and he's like, "Shut up!" And Pesce is
Oh
like, "Yeah,"
yeah,
I was like, "Why are you grabbing me?" And Ichigo's like, "You can still talk," and he goes, "Yeah, that's not my mouth," because
bro, I
I thought
wish
that
they
was his
kept
mouth
that. That was
too.
out. That was hilarious.
Yeah, I thought that was Pesce's mouth too. Like that's where the oil comes out. Like I'm confused.
Hmm.
So that like
Yeah,
to
it
me
was
That's
just
that's
just
confusion.
mhm.
that's crucial for his character development.
It's crucial for Pesce. Like we need to know that about Pesce. But the reason I also like that is because the scene that follows that, the panel after that, is the dead bodies of all the hollows around them. And like the scene goes from like really funny to just drop dead. Like the Quincy are killing everyone, and they're burning the bodies. Like that's how serious this is.
Yeah,
That's why, like, personally, I don't like when comedy gets mixed into action too much because I feel like it can take away from the seriousness of a scene. But there's a difference between putting comedy in the middle of a scene and then juxtaposing it.
and they're taking out the funniest ones too.
Yeah. At least the funniest ones, in my opinion. I know some people might not think that was funny or the Nell thing was funny, but to me, those were genuinely funny moments that I really wish probably would have stayed.
Bruh. There are a few like moments in manga in general that can actually make me laugh, and the Pesce one was one of those.
Yeah. He's like, why are you grabbing my face like that? This is not your mouth? I love that
Yeah.
scene. Um, so what are three things you guys want to see next episode?
All right. One thing I want to see, like, I want to see more like added scenes, not like what we've been getting where they added on to scenes. No, I want to see more full blown added scenes, like what they did with Harabelle.
Mm-hmm.
Um, though I guess that's just a general thing for the series. Something else I want to see. Hmm. I want to see more world building with like, or not world building, just building on like the relationships between Chad or not Chad, Orihime and Ichigo.
Mm-hmm.
Because I would much rather them start sooner on that. Because like most people haven't seen, at least not for a while, you know, the Arrancar arc, which is the last point where it's really brought up. And so they don't get the same outcry with Ichiruki fans. They should probably start building on that.
Yeah.
And the final thing I'd want to see is Ichigo, you know, is getting pushed back by Kilgay, and I want to see from the ashes of Waco Mundo, Tosin rise up, impale Kilgay, kill the main cast, and take over the series for himself.
You know, right before I asked this question, I was like, I should probably tell him he can't say anything about Tosin. But I'm like, no, he can
Damn it,
control himself. Did-
bro! You put me and self control in the same sentence.
yeah.
That's on you.
See, I love this scene. It's hilarious. Like I'm sharing my screen, and like to me, this scene is hilarious. Um,
Oh yeah.
yeah, he's like, you can still talk, but and then like, boom, dead bodies. But no, there's we were talking about it. Sorry, Candace, what were the three things you want to see? I don't know. Did we lose Candace?
Um,
Oh,
yeah, I'm here. I'm here. I'm here. The I want to see first invasion kind of get started next episode, like just the little parts.
mm-hmm.
I don't want to say ones I know for sure that I'm gonna get.
Like what?
Mayuri versus Yamamoto,
Yeah. Oh,
but
that's gonna be so
Yamamoto
good.
tries to reprimand him for what he does.
Mm-hmm.
I shouldn't actually spoil that much, but basically Yamamoto tries to tell him off, and then Mayuri basically tells him off because he was the sole reason why everything happened.
Mm-hmm.
And the Quippy versus Ichigo fight, maybe a bit of Aeon as well.
Yeah, it's. I think that's definitely within the next 4 episodes. I mean chapters, so it probably will get animated. But we were talking about it in the chat earlier today. This scene here, how much they changed this, I don't like either. Um, I know jump back, but like so he gives a
Yeah.
speech and then he
I
goes,
mean,
"I'm sure all of you clever captains have worked this out. Look at look at their faces. They're looking away, and it's really sad."
and
Huh?
yeah. I was gonna say if they kept the scene one for one, my boy Kensei could have gotten a whole nother frame.
Yeah. But like, Toshiro and Shinsuke are looking away because they know who did it. And it's really like it's kind of sad because they also kind of realize like, okay, this implicates like Uryu. Like this scene of them like no one reacting in that scene in the anime I thought was so weird. And then they
Low
completely
key,
uh-huh.
I know. Go on. I was just gonna say, low key. Looks like Shinsui's just sleeping through this whole meeting.
He was smiling in anime. I thought that was so weird. Like in that
Yeah.
meeting, he's smiling. I'm like, what is so funny? There's like 200 people just died.
I think he had a grudge against Chojuro.
Probably. That lieutenant spot was supposed to be mine.
Chojuro told him to get off the lawn,
Mm-hmm.
but he was trying to nap.
But then
He's annoyed that Chojuro aged better than him.
Mm-hmm. And then they cut this scene. I'm hoping it's at the start. And the reason I started doing this because I want to talk about what's next the episode. This better fucking be in the start of the next episode. I swear to God.
Yeah.
Why this wasn't the
'Cause,
end
like,
of the
they
episode,
cut it
I have
off.
no idea.
Like, yeah, they cut it off with the Quincy reveal. So yeah, there's probably gonna pick it up back up with that meeting, at least somewhere, like in the beginning half of the episode.
Mm-hmm. And that's another thing. I don't think Taguchi is good at getting emotional parts across because he already kind of went past the Yamamoto line real quick. So I'm worried the episode's going to open like this and then it's going to be like, we're just going to go past this because this is supposed to be a very serious line. It's like, where's the location of their stronghold? Even Mayuri is like, oh, I don't, I'm afraid I have yet to determine.
Yeah, but Mayuri and his banana ass looking so.
Mm-hmm. So then you have him declaring war, right, against the Quincy. And then we have the Ichigo scene, my favorite comedy scene that gets cut out, right? And then the episode ends like this. But there's another cool line he says that should be at the start of the next episode. Oh my, up next is a Shimigami.
They're probably gonna start with, Ichigo running, like a few minutes, like about a minute before it ended.
Mm-hmm.
Who knows? Maybe they'll throw in the Nell line.
I hope so. Ooh, this is the omake of this episode. It's really good. But yeah, it's as far as things I'm looking forward to. I'm looking forward to Yamamoto, that part of Yamamoto being in the next part.
Mm-hmm.
Ion, like Candace said, like I can't wait for Ion to come back. I don't know why
yeah.
he's such a fan favorite, but people love Ion and it's very weird. He has
Bruh,
no speaking
especially
lines.
now where they can't. Especially now when there's no censorship, Ion's gonna be a beast.
Yeah. Even with and this is saying, like, even with censorship, Ion's a fan. He's popular with the fan base, so it's interesting.
I love the omakes for Ion.
Oh, they're great. They're the Darth Vader meme of like, I'm hungry, straight face.
Mm-hmm.
They're so good. He's like, I wonder if we're having hamburgers tonight, and it's like, dude, how do you even know what a hamburger is?
That just confirms like Ion casually, the Arankars casually have like barbecue. Like, do you think like some of the Espada just gather everyone up? Like, fuck. I low key want to make that a. I have shit art skills, but if I ever get good at art, I'm making a fan manga, and it's just a sitcom with all the Espada, and Las Noches is just going to be a neighborhood.
Ask Tomo. I'm pretty sure he'd love it. So it'd be like it'd be like
like
HFY.
TFS's Hiffle.
Yeah. It'd be so good. All the Arankar who've
get
died.
the cast to like Bleach Abridged or something.
That'd be perfect. I don't know. I'll say this: Project Mouthwash's Fate series, superb. S tier series, fantastic. Their Bleach one, B.
It's alright.
Yeah.
There's some stuff I like, some stuff I don't.
Mm-hmm.
But most of the stuff I don't is niche.
Yeah, I love the what is Ichigo calling a unionized Soul Reaper?
Yeah,
that's funny. I don't know if that's just.
I love how Ichigo tries to talk it out with legitimately everyone.
Yeah, it's so good.
And their newest short with La Muerte.
Yeah, it was funny. Chad though is terrible. I think I have not laughed at a single Chad line to the entire Bridge series.
Really?
Not a single.
Not even the La Muerte short.
I don't know if that counts because it's not in the episodes, but I did laugh at that. Yes.
I mean, if they ever get around to that episode someday, if that's not the fucking line they use, I'm a riot.
Oh, they're actually, funny enough, they're the ones that introduced me to the Soy Phone Ichigo ship. Funnily enough.
That's a thing?
You didn't know that was a thing?
Nah.
I thought we had a whole.
Know.
Really?
I didn't even know either.
Yeah,
What's
that was a whole
Soifon and
thing.
Ichigo?
Yeah, so
Bruh.
we had a whole day in the chat where we were talking about ships, and like it got like what was the weirdest, I forgot who asked it, but it was like what was the weirdest ship you've seen of Bleach so far? And it got crazy. The not safe for work page was that was not the day to be in that one. If you're a
Bruh.
heterosexual male, that was not that was not a day to be in the not safe for work chat.
Oh my god.
Bruh, I was looking back through that channel and I like scroll up and then I see like some Hanataro shit and I'm like, what
Dude,
the
oh my
hell?
god, I know. Like I said, I told you that day was crazy. Um but no, yeah, so they did Project Mouthwash did a Bleach Abridged movie for Diamond Dust Rebellion. And in the Diamond Dust Rebellion movie, Ichigo and Soifone have actually like I think 3 whole scenes together. One is in the world of the
Mm.
living, and I think 2 are in Soul Society. And in both of those scenes, like they start bickering like a married couple. And in the second one, which is I think the funnier one, the one where in Soul Society, it's hilarious because everyone's just watching, like everyone's quietly watching Ichigo and Soifone have a fucking shouting match. And then I forgot I think someone comments like, "Why don't you two kiss already?" or something like that. So then I got curious and I was like, "Is there Ichigo Soifone ship?" So I typed in Ichigo Soifone, and oh yeah, it's a whole thing. There's like
Damn.
there's whole fanfics. There's one where like
Jesus.
I think it takes place after the Soul Society arc where I think like Soifon's had enough of Omaida, so she kicks him out of being her lieutenant, and then Yamamoto is just not okay with a unionized Soul Reaper, so he forces Ichigo to be Soifon's lieutenant, and
Mm.
that's how the fanfic goes.
Damn.
Uh,
Bruh. I love how Project Mouthwash did Aizen.
I see. This is where we disagree. I the whole Josh
Like for a
Groban thing to me is
comedic
not funny.
series, I love it.
I
No,
don't get
not
the Josh.
that, but just
Oh,
like how he's just a massive dick to everyone, including Tosin.
oh yeah, no, I agree with, but the whole Josh Groban thing is not, it's not funny.
Yeah, that's it was funny the first time, but then every time after it just like decreased.
Like they just casually threw it in a
But
conversation. They're like, Sosuke Aizen, you mean Josh Groban? I'm like, dog, it's not funny.
but
Sorry.
like there was one scene, I think it was at the end, like because apparently Aizen made his Kyoka Suigetsu hear or make it so everyone hears Tosin is mumbling.
Yeah.
And I thought that was so in character. And like perfectly not at the same time.
Yeah. This is another scene I want to see for next episode. The lieutenant meeting we were just talking about. It's
Oh
actually
yeah.
like, yeah. Because like the characters are acting like characters. They're talking, and then like this scene
Mm-hmm.
where everyone's just talking, conversating about what happened. They realize something bad happened, and then he's like, "What exactly is Captain Kuratsuchi hiding from us, Lieutenant Kuratsuchi?" And I just
Bruh.
pause, and I'm like, "Why did for a depressed character who's afraid to look at his own shadow, Izuru got pretty threatening against Nemu here."
Bruh, I love the lieutenant meetings more than the captain meetings because of just how chill they usually are. Because it's like a bunch of kids waiting for their parents to get out of like parent teacher conferences,
Stop.
and they're just waiting in the hallway.
The only reason I disagree is because the captain's meeting, the very first captain's meeting we see with Gin is hilarious.
Oh yeah.
Because Kenpachi's still sore about what Gin did earlier, and
Mhm.
he's like Gin, stop playing stupid. You're not. He's like, what did he say? He's like, don't play stupid. You know why you're here. Why did you let them go? And then like at the end of that meeting, Kenpachi just bursts out the door, and Yamamoto's like, what can you do about him? I was just like, what?
He's Kenpachi. I'm not gonna. I don't have enough hours left in my life to deal with him.
That's hilarious. Okay, so since we're coming to the end of this, what was your rating for this episode?
Um, solid 7.5 out of 10.
7.5 out of 10. Okay.
I really liked the fighting. I really liked the environment. I loved Kisuke being Kisuke. I loved Kilge being Kilge.
Mm-hmm.
What more do you need?
That's a good one. Okay. Candace?
I'll probably go. There was very few things wrong with it, but there were a lot of things that they did very well. I'll probably go. I'll give it an 8 out of 10.
Really? Okay.
All right. How about you, Azrael?
Um, I might go with your answer. Di- so 7.5, and the reason for that is I think this episode does a lot of things better than episode 1 did. I think the music is better placed in this episode. I think the animation keeps up with episode 1. Um, I think the pacing is better in this episode than in episode 1. But I just don't like some of the things personally that Taguchi took out. That I would like to see remain in the episode. One of the bigger ones is, like I said, the joke and Byaku's comments about Chojuro. Because looking into the future, any emotional impact that's going to have now is a bit lessened. Like the whole, like, Chojuro, the slow scene of Chojuro kneeling to Yamamoto is really cool. But it's not as impactful as us knowing exactly what Chojuro did.
But now I got to change my answer, so 7.6.
Someplace.
You just had to go and take mine.
It's like um The Price is Right.
Yeah.
It's $700. I'll do 701.
Fuck it. Damn it, 702.
I got a little Price is Right.
703.
703.
Oh, you son of a bitch.
Uh,
I don't have that
699.
money.
699.
Damn.
Get on my level.
69.
Yeah, anything interesting you guys notice about the episode before we head out? Because I actually have stuff I gotta do.
There are a lot of dead around cars. And not one of them is Gantenbein, so that confirms Gantenbein survived. He is out there. We need to find this man.
Yeah, that is.
He is crucial to defeating Yuha.
If Gantenbein doesn't show up in the next episode, that's gonna be weird. Like, I hate that Kubo confirmed that he's still alive, and I'm just like, okay, so where is he? I don't want to hear he's starting.
Hana healed him, so that's like an automatic amp.
Yeah, like, I don't want to hear that he's starting a civilization out in the middle of nowhere. You telling me that, like, Yuha didn't notice a goddamn a captain level Iran car just like chilling out in the middle of the desert?
I guess
I'm
that's the
thinking
same
he's
thing
just
that-
like, we'll take over Las Noches first and deal with that later.
What were you saying, Candace?
I guess that was the same thing with Sun Tzu, Mila Rose, and Apache, was that they were off doing something else.
Oh yeah, they said they were
well.
out doing something. You can't say that name. That's spoilers. No.
What name? What name?
A certain cat.
The Grand Duke of Kitty Cats.
Oh, Grand Duke of Kitty Cats. Yeah, see, here it stays. We refer to him as the Grand Duke of Kitty Cats. Yeah, no, so I guess you could arguably say that the Tres Bestias were maybe having peace talks with Gantenbein, but I'll say this, that doesn't make sense because those are like the three. If there was a tier list of characters who could not negotiate, those three in particular would be probably an S tier or A plus tier. Just saying. But yeah, I appreciate you guys coming on the live. Unfortunately, I had to cut this one short as far as like the YouTube goes, but I'll be in the chat still talking.
Alright, cool.
Nice.
All right, gentlemen. Boom.